Okay, so student, we are continuing with the second session of chapter number 2. In session 1 we have completed till switch statement. The next content we have, that is loops in PHP. Now what are loops? Loops in PHP are used to execute the same block of code a specified number of times. PHP supports 4 types of loop. First one is for loop, while loop, do while loop and for each loop. So we will see one by one loop. Okay, first one we have, that is for loop. Okay, for loop, the for statement is used when you know how many times you want to execute a statement or a block of statement. Okay, the syntax of for loop is for in bracket. Basically there are 3 types of variable, 3 types of method that are passed in for loop, that is initialization, condition and increment. You can also tell this working of for loop. How for loop works? For loop works in the flow like initialization, condition and increment or decrement operator, and after for loop, opening and closing of curly brackets, and in that the code to be executed. A simple example of for loop. Here we have taken a code in which we have also included HTML. We have started with HTML tag body, opening and closing of PHP tag. We have taken 2 variable, $a equal to 0, $b equal to 0, and we have taken for loop. In for loop we have taken variable $i equal to 0, $i is less than equal to 5 and $i plus plus. As I said, the working of for loop is initialization. First one is nothing, your initialization, that is $i equal to 0. Second one we have, that is condition, $i is less than 5, this is my condition, and third one is your increment or decrement operator. So here we have taken $i plus plus. Opening and closing of curly bracket, $a plus equal to 10, $b plus equal to 5. Echo at the end of the loop, a equal to $a and b equal to $b. Okay, so this is a simple example of for loop. Next one we have, that is while loop. The while statement will execute a block of code if and as long as a test expression is true. If the test expression is true, then the code block will be executed. After the code has executed, the test expression will again be evaluated and the loop will continue until the test expression is found to be false. The syntax of while loop is while, condition and in curly bracket code to be executed. We will see one example of while loop. Here we have declared HTML tag, body tag, opening and closing tag of PHP. I have taken one variable, that is $i equal to 0, $num equal to 50. While we have taken while loop. In while loop we are passing a condition, that is $i is less than equal to 10. In opening and closing curly bracket we have just passed the condition, or we can say increment or decrement, $num minus minus, $i plus plus. After that echo, loop started at I equal to $i and num equal to $num. Closing of my body and closing of my HTML. Third one we have, that is do while loop statement. The do while loop statement will execute a block of code at least once. It will repeat the loop as long as condition is true. So basically student, the difference between while loop and do while loop is, while loop will execute when the condition is true, but do while loop will execute the block of code at least once if the condition is true or false, but it will execute at least once. This is the basic difference between while loop and do while loop. The syntax of do while loop, it starts with do keyword, opening of curly brackets, code to be executed, and after closing of curly brackets, while condition. Example of do while loop: opening of HTML tag body, opening of PHP tag, $i equal to 0, $num equal to 0, do. After that, opening and closing of curly bracket in which we are passing increment operator $I plus plus, while $I is less than 10, echo loop stop at I equal to $I, closing of body, closing of HTML. After that we have next one, the last one, that is for each loop statement. The for each statement is used to loop through arrays. For each pass, the value of the current array element is assigned to $value and the array pointer is moved by 1, and in the next pass next element will be proceed. Okay, now students, basically we have seen first three loops, that is for loop, while loop, do while loop. Now for each loop is basically used for arrays. Whenever we are using array, at that time for each loop will be executed. For loop, while loop, do while loop you can use as usual, but when we are using array, in our program, and if you want to repeat the loop, so for array we have a special kind of loop, that is for each loop. The syntax of for each loop: for each, it is one word without any space, array as value in bracket, and in curly bracket code to be executed. A simple example of for each loop: opening of HTML tag body, opening of PHP and closing tag of PHP. Under that $array, I have taken a variable $array equal to array, and we have passed 5 values in this, 1 2 3 4 5. Again we are using this loop for each. Under for each loop we are passing the value, that is $array as value. In curly bracket echo value is $value. Closing of curly brackets, closing of PHP tag, closing of body, and closing of HTML. After that we have one more thing, that is break statement. Okay, the PHP break keyword is used to terminate the execution of loop automatically, okay, or prematurely. Why we are using break statement? Because it will terminate the loop. The break keyword itself says that we are stopping, we are giving a break, we are terminating something. Okay, so PHP break keyword is used to terminate execution of a loop. The break statement is situated inside the statement block. If give you full control, and whenever you want to exit from the loop you can come out. After coming out of the loop, immediately statement to the loop will be executed. A simple example of break statement: opening of HTML tag body, opening of PHP tag, I have taken one variable $I equal to 0, while condition, while loop, while $I is less than 10, $I plus plus, if my $I equal to 3, break, that means it will stop, it will terminate here only. Echo loop stop at I equal to $I, closing of PHP tag, closing of body tag, and closing of HTML tag. Next one we have, that is continue. The PHP continue keyword is used to halt current iteration of a loop, but it does not terminate the loop. Okay, so what is continue? Continue keyword is used to halt the current iteration of a loop, but it does not terminate the loop. Just like the break statement, the continue statement is situated inside the statement block containing block that the loop executes precedes by a conditional test. For the pass encountering continue statement, rest of the loop code is skipped and next pass starts. Example of continue: opening of HTML tag body, opening of PHP tag, $array equal to array. We have taken 5 values, 1 2 3 4 5. We have taken for each loop $array as value. If my $value equal to 3, it will continue. Echo value is $value, closing of PHP tag, closing of body, and closing of HTML. Okay, so student, we will just stop session 2 of chapter number 2. Under this session we have learned for loop, while loop, do while loop, we have seen for each loop, we have seen break statement, and we have seen continue statement. Remaining topic we will continue in the last and the final session of chapter number 2. Thank you.